So have you watched a lot of British films?
Yeah. Some British films were actually one of the very first movies we would see. Oh, Lucky Man by Lindsay Anderson was one of them. This movie called Melody, I forget the filmmaker who did it, but that's another one. And Educated
Rita.
We've seen.
Assonance is getting the rhyme wrong.
Yeah, that's a Michael Caine line. Some British TV like Coupling, we love watching.
Blackadder.
I love that show.
And so, in coming to England, like, is it as you imagined it would be, like, from the movies, or has it been quite different?
I think it's similar to how we expected it to be in movies, but it's that and more. Obviously experiencing it, it's way different than watching it. But we have seen some movie references. We visited some locations that movie films have taken place in.
Like the roundabout from European Vacation.
Look, kids, there's Big Ben. There's the whatever it is. Look, Dad, we saw him. They're stuck till night. He's like, I can't get out. It's amazing.
And we've seen all the Beatles films. Help, Hard Day's Night, the Let It Be movie, and Yellow Submarine, which is a Quiet Trip and a Magical Mystery Tour.
Like, can you talk a little bit about how film can change your life or change your perspective on things?
I mean, so since movies, they were a window to life for us. So a lot of things that we miss out on, the movies would kind of fill in, because when you broaden your horizon, you know, your movie education, you know, if you look at underground films and mainstream films, and you create that balance, you just see all, there's different ways of storytelling, and there's also different lessons in every film. So it gives you a sense of morals, it gives you a sense of purpose. It may introduce you to something as, you know, something as simple like love. You know, growing up as kids, it's like, well, we don't understand it, but I can reference a couple of movies for love. Or just as simple as, you know, hardcore dedication to something, or when you're thinking about psychology, you know, like look at Apocalypse Now, and the man who just goes totally insane, Colonel Kurtz, you know. You want to touch on that too?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of filmmakers have described movies that way, is that they're a window to life, to the world, and they're also a window to imagination and to other things. One movie that I feel almost really changed my life, like perspective on a lot of things, was The Thin Red Line, because it not only made me think about like the carnage of war, but also the answers that everybody searches for, which is like, what's the meaning of life, what's the source of life, and you know, there are so many questions, and sometimes the questions are more beautiful than the answers. So there's so much that we can learn from the movies. And sometimes it's that, and you know, and that's one of the things, is that there's so much beauty in the world, and that most of everything is perspective and how you see things, and it's how you view them. And so you can choose to view something a certain way, and yeah. So, but I think what movies most of all, which is any art form, is an experience more than anything. It's an emotional experience. It can just be fun enjoyment, like most of the summer blockbusters that come out every year, but other films that get more in touch with, you know, like some of the things that we can't answer, like tragedy and stuff like that, they really make you think, and can also broaden your horizons, like introduce you to other worlds, even if those worlds don't even exist. But the possibility of another world, you know, is just amazing to think about. And for me, I think cinema is the ultimate art form that does that. And I think it was Ingmar Bergman who once said that no form of art goes beyond ordinary consciousness like film does, straight to our hearts and deep into the twilight of our soul. So film is absolutely the most, for me it's the most beautiful experience you can have. And the great thing is that it's so unlimited. There's an ever expanding world of cinema. And there's like no set form in cinema.